Good morning and welcome to IDF 2011. My theme today is about fundamental transformations. All of you in this room have been part of these changes. You've seen the dramatic evolution of computing and its impact on the world. From how we communicate with our kids and our colleagues to how we experience life's most memorable moments. The transformations in computing have unleashed wave after wave of business and personal productivity, and has provided billions of people with their first real opportunity to participate in the global economy. Yet today I would submit that we are still at the very early stages in the evolution of computing. We've just begun to see its impact on the course of history. 2 years ago, I described a major transformation taking place. A shift from the age of the personal computer to an age of personal computing. A view of the technology future that we at Intel call the compute continuum. It's a world where no single device sits at the center of the computing experience. Instead, it's the user who sits in the sweet spot wherever he or she goes. In this new environment, computing means a lot more than just computers. Computing is about experiences, about how we work, how we communicate, how we experience everyday life, from shopping to driving to learning. And these experiences are available to us no matter which device we carry under our arm or in our pocket. The device is important, but this experience is more so. This is a transformation in computing and an incredible opportunity expansion for Intel and for everyone at this conference. I'd like to start by talking about the transformations that got us to where we are today. I'll then share my thoughts about where this transformation in computing is taking us next and what the implications are for our industry. You know, we've always been a very innovative industry. Faster processors and better software unleashed our collective creativity and made us all more productive. The internet and pervasive connectivity led to more devices and broader uses. And the growth of more sophisticated and capable cloud has enabled even more engaging experiences, anywhere, anytime, and on any device. The result of this evolution has been simply stunning. 48 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's the equivalent of 160,000 full-length feature films uploaded every week. Social media has grown to billions of tweets and Facebook photos being shared every month. With more than 4 billion connected devices, it should be no surprise that the amount of data generated each year exceeds some 900 billion gigabytes. And the data center spend to manage, store, and serve all of this content is projected to be over $455 billion this year alone. Taken together, these trends are creating a very unprecedented demand for the most fundamental enabler of the digital age, the transistor. At Intel, we've been driving this exponential growth in demand for transistors for a long time. The transition to mobility and pervasive connectivity led to the first significant uptick in the early 2000s, reaching 5 quintillion transistors by the end of 2005. The explosion of the connected devices and the corresponding data center build-out grew transistor use to 80 quintillion between 2005 and 2010, a 15x increase in just 5 years. But the growth in transistors needed to manage, interpret, and store the data that we're going to create in the next 5 years will take us past the 1 sextillion mark. Now, for those of you not familiar with a sextillion is 1,000 quintillions. Or, for the scientifically minded out there, it's 10 to the 21st. That's a lot of transistors. And this makes the transistor usage over the last 3 decades look like a flat line by comparison. As Gordon Moore predicted over 4 decades ago, the transistors enabled computers to become faster and more efficient and more pervasive each succeeding generation. But Moore's law is not a scientific principle. Rather, it's an observation of the pace of human innovation. And almost from the very moment of the implications of Moore's law being posed and becoming understood, there's been speculation that this will someday end, approaching the limits of physics, as many of the quotes behind me suggest. Yet each time, the Intel engineers have found a way to innovate past, around, and through perceived obstacles, using new materials, inventing new technologies along the way. The most recent of these is the invention of the 3D transistor on Intel's breakthrough 22-nanometer process. This enabled new levels of performance and power efficiency across the computing spectrum. The world needs Moore's law to continue, and Intel is committed to make this happen. To that end, I can tell you that we already have line of sight to our 14-nanometer technology. In fact, we are well into development of this technology and are beginning to build and to tool our factories to support it. If Moore's law has been the beat rate for innovation, Intel architecture has been the engine behind it. And just as computing has evolved, so has Intel architecture, providing the developers with a vibrant set of capabilities to innovate on. In fact, this is one of the largest and most innovative communities in our industry. Over 14 million developers have harnessed the power of Intel architecture to create the largest installed base of consumer and commercial applications. 14 million. Together, this community has enabled more than 6 million applications for Intel architecture. To put it in perspective, that's about 10 times the number of apps in the largest app store in the world. The net result of all these innovations over the past decade has been astounding. Over a 60-fold improvement in server performance powering the data centers, over a 30x increase in client performance at 1/2 the energy consumption, and the pervasive growth of Intel architecture solutions across many applications in the embedded world. Of course, looking backwards, it's easy to see where computing has been, and that's the easy part. It's always much more challenging and perhaps more interesting to look into where we're going, though. So next I'd like to shift and give you a glimpse into where Intel sees the evolution of computing headed and what we're going to do to enable it. Computing, as I've described, has become more diversified. As computing evolves, though, it must also adapt and enable what we believe are 3 essential capabilities in computing. The first is that computing must be engaging. The second is that it must be consistent. And third, above all, is that it must be secure. We start with engaging. Look around. We live in a visual world. We expect that our computing devices provide us with lifelike, engaging experiences. We expect that computing offers us new ways to explore, share, and connect with each other. And we expect our devices to engage with us as fast as we think. The best experiences that we've got are those that are highly integrated. Moore's law has made this possible through integration at the chip level. And this has delivered increasingly sophisticated, integrated capabilities, starting with math and multimedia functions, caches, multiple cores, and more recently, graphics and video acceleration, all on single chips. And the reduced electronic footprint resulting from this integration has resulted in thinner, lighter, more mobile computers of all types. Even so, the full capabilities of the computer as the ultimate personal companion haven't really been realized until now. At Intel, we're enabling a new computing experience that is more engaging than ever. It's what we call Ultrabook. The Ultrabook is our vision that delivers the most satisfying and complete computer experience. It's lighter, sleeker, lasts long on a single charge so you can carry it almost everywhere that you need it. It's more responsive and engaging so you can unleash your creativity and potential without compromise. It'll be secure so you can connect it without concern. And perhaps equally important, it will be affordable such that it becomes the new norm for computing. Intel has defined a roadmap to deliver against